President-elect Donald Trump announcing plans this weekend to shut down his charitable foundation to avoid conflicts of interest. But some Democrats still not satisfied. New York's Attorney General, a Democrat, says the Trump Foundation is under investigation and can't officially be shut down until that probe is over. And the Democratic National Committee is calling the Trump Foundation announcement, quote, a wilted fig leaf to cover up his remaining conflicts of interest and his pitiful record of charitable giving. Joining us now, Guy Benson, townhall.com political editor, and Emily Shire, political director at The Bustle. Good to see you both. Merry Christmas. Emily, is this a situation where Democrats, no matter what Donald Trump does, just won't be satisfied?
No, I think it's very simple what he needs to do. He needs to divest and put his assets in a blind trust. And until he does that, I think Democrats will keep hammering him.
But that's the business side of this, right? What about, let's start with the charitable, and we'll get to your point on that.
Well, so it's not clear how separate the business and the charitable were. He has admitted to self-dealing on IRS forms. The Washington Post reported 2 clear incidences where he used the Trump Foundation to pay off and settle lawsuits against his personal businesses. So it's not so simple to tease those out.
Guy, what do you say?
Well, I think that some of the Washington Post reporting was very good journalism and did raise some serious questions about some of the ethics involved, where that money was coming from and where it was going from the Trump Foundation. I think given all of that murkiness, it's the right thing for Trump to shut this thing down, which he's attempting to do. Now, what the Attorney General, a Democrat here in New York, is saying is, well, not so fast. As long as the investigation is open, the foundation has to remain open. If that's the case, then Trump can basically shutter the place, right? Shut down all activity and say, we'll technically keep it in existence, but for all intents and purposes, it's closed. And it seems like that's what they're doing, which is
So that's what I want to stick to the narrow point, Emily. Then we can talk about the business, but why not let him shut down the foundation? It doesn't mean he's erasing all the files from before. If the Attorney General of New York wants to investigate that for another month, another year, he obviously can do that, has the power to do that. But why not let him say, look, I'm pulling the plug on the foundation?
Well, the Attorney General is doing his job and needs to be able to access everything regarding the foundation. I might also add that it seems pretty clear the Donald Trump Foundation has not actually done much in the way of charitable giving. So what Donald Trump means by shutting it down is also not totally clear when it seems pretty evident that he himself has not made personal contributions and that the foundation has not done much in the way of charity work.
But if it hasn't done much, why are Democrats so exercised about it? That's part of what I don't understand.
I think they're exercised about it because they need to make sure they have everything available to continue their investigation. The investigation started in October, and I think they're also exercised about it because, you know, the wilted fig leaf problem, that this is just one tiny detail in the mountain of conflict of interest concerns. And frankly, it's a distraction. If Donald Trump wants to offer this as a small bone when there's so many other deep conflict of interest concerns about his hotel, about
the I'm going to get Guy in here, but again, you're not answering my question about, so Donald Trump has this one issue of the foundation. He says, all right, let me shut that down, and then we'll focus on the business. He's going to have this news conference in the new year. But then you say he shouldn't do that because we still got to figure this other stuff out. Why can't he close one door?
He shouldn't officially shut it down until the Attorney General has finished his investigation into it. Again, it's not clear that Donald Trump's foundation is doing a whole lot of good as is, and so when he means shutting it down, what will that exactly entail?
I get the sense Democrats are, no matter what, Donald Trump does one thing here, another thing pops up here. However, to Emily's point, that's partisan politics. To be fair to Emily, he has business issues he has to deal with and has not dealt with yet. As a Republican, does that concern you?
Well, sure. Yeah, I mean, because we were saying all along, conservatives were saying in the case against Hillary Clinton, you can't have a State Department for profit and all this double dealing, and you can't have a presidency for profit either. So I understand the little statement, the cute statement the DNC put out about the wilted fig leaf. As far as the foundation goes, this is the appropriate move from the Trump people. The AG here can do whatever they want, although they turned a blind eye to a lot of the Clinton stuff because he's a Democrat. That being said, the next step is what happens with the businesses and how can he disentangle himself from his business interests? Those are very serious questions. Those should not be partisan questions. We were supposed to hear details this month. It got punted to next month. That's fine. Let's wait and see what the Trump people come up with. I hope it's something like a blind trust. That is appropriate.
So as a conservative, you were being honest that you have concerns, and here's what you think a blind trust will answer that. As someone on the left, do you think that a blind trust will solve this for Donald Trump, or will be a goalpost that keeps moving? Well, that's not good enough. Or is a blind trust good enough?
No, I think that a blind trust would take care of many of the problems. So far, Donald Trump has not shown that he will put it in a true blind trust or that he does not know exactly what a blind trust entails.
All right. Emily, Guy, appreciate you both coming in.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you.